5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
We find wrestling. One promotion, one event, one match at a time. We are the Indie Wrestling Experience with Bob and John. I am Bob. John, what is up, man?
Hey, man, what is going on, everybody?
Well, we promised it, John, last 2 weeks ago, and we're here to do it tonight. We're going to jump right into it. The Raja Roundtable of Raja's Rampage. I don't know. I may go on an alliteration rampage later, but before that, the Raja Jackson situation. We've brought in two guests tonight who know the ins and outs of the wrestling business better than anyone. Let's welcome in first RPW CEO, promoter, owner, Rich Buchholtz. Welcome back, Rich.
Hi, nice to be back. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Rich, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Thank you.
And also the UPW heavyweight champion, and now ranked number 5 overall in the Indie Wrestling Experience rankings. Sampson, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Sampson?
Great to be here as always. Feels good being number 5.
You got some heavy hitters ahead of you, but I feel like one of them may go down soon. At least one.
All right. Well, let's hope. I'm gonna keep climbing.
That's right. That's it.
My man.
When is your next defense? It's October?
Yep. It's October, and we're circling back to the storyline that we kind of left off of at Marquette Mania, where I choke slammed our commissioner. So he's gonna be calling me out here soon, wanting some retribution for that.
Gotcha. And is that I lost my train of thought. But anyway, we're looking forward. Have they announced the match yet?
No, not officially.
Okay. All right. So we'll keep our eyes out for that. But we're here today because this is Rich's idea. Rich texted me after the Raja Jackson thing broke down and was like, let's talk about this. I got lots of things to say. And I'm glad that he does. But let me just recap for anybody who is not in the loop, or anybody in the internet wrestling community who hasn't heard about the Raja Jackson incident yet. There can't be many. But 2 weeks ago, there was a live stream at the Knokx Pro Wrestling Academy out in California. That is Rikishi's school. At that time, what we first knew was that Rampage Jackson's son, Raja, ran into the ring to do a planned spot. It went bad, and Raja beat the hell out of this guy, Syko Stu. That's what we knew at first. And then we find out more. And John and I have been just talking about it for 2 weeks, how it just seems like more and more and more kept coming out. And that's why we wanted to wait to talk about it, to kind of let the dust settle. And it started really, I kind of want to take this in chronological order, because I think, especially from talking to Rich, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rich, but I feel like these incidents there's 2 incidents really that day, with a middle ground where a lot of inflammatory stuff happens, and they each can sort of be treated on their own. So my understanding is the start of the day, or the start of this incident, was outside in sort of a wrestler's locker room kind of area. Raja Jackson shows up with an entourage, and they're filming. Syko Stu addresses Raja Jackson. We're not exactly sure what's going on. And then he hits him over the head with a beer. Looks like they're hamming it up for the camera, as far as you can tell. But then Raja Jackson did not seem to take too kindly. He didn't seem to think it was funny. He didn't seem to be in on the gag. Raja ends up apologizing. Syko Stu ends up apologizing, saying he thought they were working. They were filming video, and he thought it was a work. I'll start with you, Rich. What you mentioned to me, the idea of Raja Jackson, an outsider, showing up in the locker room with a camera in the first place.
Yes.
What? Why is that? Why does that bother you so much?
It bothers me from the aspect of, I don't think he should be in the first place. Like, if he's not there in the first place, you would never have that kind of issue.
Right.
Basically, it seems like they don't have control over their locker room. And like Rikishi was not there, so that's like he got a lot of rap for it because
Mhm.
it's his school, but he was not actually present for it.
Right. Samson, what do you think about that? What do you think about people showing up? I mean, if you're just sitting in a locker room and some guy shows up walking through with an entourage and a camera, is that a no-no?
Oh, absolutely. He would have been booted. He would have been booted from our locker room as soon as he walked in. He's an untrained worker. Um, I don't even understand what he was there for. So I don't. I'm just confused as why he was even in the locker room hanging out with the camera. Was it a planned spot? Did he talk to somebody else, a promoter? Did someone tell him to come by and maybe they could get him to do something? Like, I don't know. I know he's a trained MMA fighter, but you know, and he admittedly had never done anything with professional wrestling, and I don't think he obviously doesn't understand the business as a whole either. So there's a lot of there's just a lot of things I think from that day, that should have been handled differently and should not have ever some things that should have not ever happened.
Right. So now, so as far as, so it seems like you guys at least are in agreement on this much. Raja Jackson does not know a lot of these things. And if he was invited into the locker room, in a sense, at this point, he's being set up. Like you said, Sampson, he shouldn't have been there. That's the promotion's problem, right? That's the promotion's fault.
100%.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
And so,
And I mean, who just shows up at a wrestling show and is like, I'm going to go hang out in the locker room,
mhm.
you know,
But so up to
without
this,
being invited. So that's big concern.
right. So up to this point, Raja's doing something wrong, but he does, at least what I'm hearing from you guys, it doesn't seem like he knows he's doing something wrong yet. And then he gets hit over the head with a beer. What do you guys think of Syko Stu and the beer situation? Just a worker pulling something like that in response to seeing a camera and an entourage.
Go ahead, Rich.
Okay, so my thought would be first off, why are they drinking beforehand? Would be my first question, because as a worker, I would think that that's not a good idea. Second of all, who invited them in the locker room would be my first question. And then what would be the logic of not telling them any kind of storyline going into it?
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed very unprofessional and unprepared.
Right. Sampson? What is
Yeah,
drinking
I
in the
agree
locker
with
room?
all of those things.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to
No,
add
I
to it. Do
agree
you
with Rich
think
on
that?
all of those.
Do you think alcohol is that common in locker rooms you've been in? Was what I was going to add to whatever you were going to answer. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, it's common to see beers in the locker room. You know, I've seen one or two guys that might have one, you know, maybe two, before they work to, you know, calm nerves or whatever. I've never seen anybody get inebriated. And it's more common after matches
Mm-hmm.
in the cooler. You know, the show goes on as guys come back from their match, they'll grab a beer. You know, it's usually only maybe one or two guys that thinks it's acceptable to do that. We don't like it. We frown upon it, and we ask all the workers at UPW to refrain from drinking prior.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys will grab one and sneak outside or whatever. It's like can't help it, but maybe you shouldn't be there. But yeah, and as far as you know, hitting him with a beer can, crushing it on his head, you know, trying to make an example or something, you know, I think Raja asked him who he was, and Stu said something like, "Oh, you don't know me," and then hit him upside the beer can. I mean, you have to take into account the mentality of an MMA fighter, which I can attest to because I've done it. I fought trained MMA for almost 7 years. And I can tell you that, you know, to go inside of a cage, somebody your own size, and have a physical straight up fight like that, it takes a different type of person, and those aren't people that you're going to want to try to put on the spot or try to embarrass or try to humiliate. And I think that was probably the biggest mistake of the whole night was Stu smashing that can up against the kid's head who's an MMA fighter and he's on camera. He's probably live streaming. He's not going to take that lightly.
Right.
And again, Raja's an untrained worker, so to him, as far as we know, he just got a beer can smashed up against his head. It's like I don't know too many people not in the business that would probably take that, kindly, if you will.
Right. Like if he had hit another worker
right,
with that beer,
right.
It still wouldn't have turned out well, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, just in that instance, again, it's like if you have spots, those are playing, you talk about them. If you're trying to get something for the camera, you talk about it, you set it up. And I don't think that was the case. I mean, again, it's like the big mystery is why was he there? What was being planned? Who had he talked to? And that stuff has never come out.
Yeah, I don't think, John, have you ever seen anything about that, about how he got there, whether Rikishi or anybody knew, whether it was set up?
As far as Raja?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what I understood, he was there. One of the guys in the back. I remember. I apologize. I don't know the guy's name, but I know on the videos, I believe he had a hat on. Kind of a cowboy looking hat or some sort of hat. I don't know if he was there working, but apparently he's a wrestler with the organization and a friend of Raja's. And I don't know. From what I understand, I think it's the gentleman that was seen in some of the videos. Kind of hyping Raj up as far as, okay, well, you got to get your receipt. I'm sorry, Sampson, you broke up a little bit. Is that what it is?
No, I was just agreeing. Yeah, and I believe he was the booker, and he was the guy telling him, you got to light him up.
Yeah, and I think that was, apparently from what I understood, and like I said, and this is just what I'm seeing and getting out of it, is that was a friend of Raja's in some way, shape, or form. They were, had an acquaintance, and Raja was there to see this guy and to see the show, and I don't know that it was necessarily, he was booked to be there, and obviously, like you said, it looks like he may have just kind of shown up with the entourage and the camera, and just really not understanding the situation he was walking into, I think.
Right. And Rich, without the owner there, without the guy where the buck stops being there, everything just goes to shit, right? Like it goes back to your same argument, right? A lot of this happened because the cat was away and the mice were playing, essentially.
Pretty much. I mean, like, there's a lot of different scenarios that happen that definitely shouldn't have happened. For one, no one should ever have a camera in the locker room. In my personal opinion, especially somebody that's not even working for the company, like that's invasion of privacy for all the talent, for one thing.
Right.
And I believe the guy's name is AJ Mana.
Mm-hmm. The guy in the cowboy hat.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. I saw him on there, and that was the next thing we would get to, right? So after all this goes down, it doesn't start with AJ Mana though, but people start pumping up Raja not to react on the scene, telling him you can get your receipt later. And you can see him there fuming as he's staring at Syko Stu. And but then it's I don't know who the guy's name that was there, the Rikishi's cousin that kind of got in the middle. He's like, "We're always working, bro. We're always working. You can get him in the ring." That seemed to be the thing that started AJ Mana having the idea to pump him up to get him in the ring. It seemed like that was where it started. And that was, am I crazy, or was that a stupid thing for Rikishi? I don't know if he's his cousin. I apologize, but that's a stupid thing for him to say, right?
Yeah,
I would say it's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes back to him not being a trained worker, probably not even understanding what he's being told. But someone says you need to get your receipt, go light his ass up, or whatever the verbiage was, but it was to it was to that, kind of gesture, like go fuck him up. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
you're good.
you're telling a guy that again has never been in that situation, doesn't know any of this, doesn't understand that, if someone stiffs you, you stiff them back, but you're not trying to kill the person. You're not trying to take their head off. You're not going in there unknowingly when when the other person may be thinking, okay, this is a work here, and then you slam him on his head and start landing kill shots.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you think, from what you guys have seen, I think we've all seen the videos of AJ Mana backstage and the things he was saying to Raja as far as pumping him up to get his receipt. Uh, where do you guys land on just that? I feel like it's irresponsible, but more than that, like, is that something that he would have done to another worker and it was just habit, or is that just so far left field, like you couldn't even believe what you were hearing when you were watching the videos? Sampson?
I'm kind of on that side where I couldn't believe what I was hearing again, because as far as we know, he's not a trained worker. He didn't even seem to, the first thing about any of it. And, there's just a certain etiquette and a way that you act and a way that you react. And, if somebody stiffs you, it usually happens in the ring, your seat comes in.
Right. I think we lost a little bit of Sampson there, but Rich, how
Sorry,
about
guys,
you
Yep,
just went out just a little
I-
bit. What did you think about the comments backstage? Like, it seemed insane. Even if he was saying that to another worker, it still seems insane to me.
it just seems like it's pretty much gaslighting a bad situation to start.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that comes back to the whole situation of, if a plant is involved, they got to know 100% what's going on,
Right.
Yes.
because otherwise you are going to have that kind of situation. And like, take people that came from the octagon that were pretty famous, Ken Shamrock, Dan Summerlin, etc. Like, those people had to relearn how to get trained as an actual wrestler, not as a UFC fighter, because the UFC fighter, the ref is actually pulling you away.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. And we're gonna get to that in a second too. The pull away or the lack of it. But first we see Raja Jackson sitting ringside right before he runs in the ring, getting interviewed, talking about how he's gonna fuck this guy up. And
Yep.
there's nobody there to tell him this is a bad idea. It's like I said, they put a microphone in front of his mouth. Excuse me. And it seems like, again, like Rich said, it seems like we're just pouring more gas on the flame now by interviewing him seconds before he's supposed to do the run-in.
Yep.
So he finally runs in the ring, and now everybody kept calling this a planned spot, but I think we're in agreement, right? It seems like the planning was just in that like hour. It's not like from 3 days ago, right, guys?
That's the vibe I get, that the incident happened backstage and they knew it was all on camera, so they're like, hey, let's turn this into something. And going back to what Rich says, in those instances where you're taking a flyer, he's got some notoriety, or you get views, and you have them do a spot, they need to be broke down, every step, every detail, every action and reaction that they're going to incur, so they know exactly what's happening. And they need to maybe be taken off to the side and given a demonstration of how to throw the punch, how to do the slam, so that there's safety involved. Because he picked him up like a crotch single leg. I mean, it was the same thing his dad did in Octagon. He picks someone up with a high crotch single leg and send them on the back and knock out, and then he jump on them and start landing those blows, and they're already.
Oh, I think we lost Sampson there mid-sentence, but I heard what he was saying. I mean, essentially, and that's something that we'll get to when Sampson gets back. Oh, there he is. You there, Sampson?
Back up. Sorry.
No,
That's
you're
all
good,
right, buddy.
Here. But yeah, it was like I don't know where you lost me at, but it was just the action of what he did. It was he thought he was going in there for real. So.
Well, let me ask you this, Sampson, especially as a professional wrestler and also as somebody that's trained MMA for the amount of time you have. when I watch that video, and this is just me as a fan, as a layman, just a normal everyday guy walking down the street, it looks to me when he picks Stu up, it, it it's almost as if Stu is he's expecting to get picked up, he's expecting something. He just is it just me, or is I don't see him struggling to get away from the slam? Kind of okay, I know it's coming. Kind of almost to a look to it.
Yes.
I just that I guess confused me, and I think it confused a lot of people in watching it because I don't. It didn't look like anybody other than Raja knew what was coming.
He
that's
went up
exactly
with
what
him.
I thought.
Yeah, he went up with him. If he wasn't expecting it, he would have sandbagged him.
That's what I'm. I mean, all I can do is I think for myself, and just as a normal guy who's we're kids and you get in fights here and there, and I mean, if somebody goes to pick me up, I am definitely wiggling and struggling trying to get down. I'm not going with the pickup for the slam. It just looked like okay, here we go, and then man, that the slam. I mean, just unfortunately, just watching his head bounce off the mat was hard to watch.
Yep.
And then, I mean, to me, again, as the layman, I'm watching it, and I don't know how you don't know that he's out. You as a trained professional, I mean, you've got to see that. Oh shit, he's out. But then that's where you lost me in the continuing with the blows. Was you can't tell me as a trained MMA fighter he doesn't know he's out. And it just, I mean, it really was. It was hard to watch, man, and that's as a guy that loves wrestling, loves UFC, loves combat sports. That was just, it was tough, man. It was really, really tough.
Yeah, it definitely it looked like Stu was in on it until he got bounced on the back of his head. I mean, so they probably put something together real quick, and he went up for him, and then it just kind of went off the rails. But it goes back to like when they stuck that microphone in his face, or I think he was on the phone too. He was being filmed on a phone call where he was like, "They told me to F him up. I'm going to F him up. They have no idea. I'm about to F this dude up. They told me I could do it. They told me to go hit it." And like, so he's like, what he was told as like a receipt, he's taken as like, I'm going to go hurt this guy.
Right.
And like his swings were pretty much meant to mess him up, almost kill him.
Yeah.
If they come off of there, probably in about 4 more, he's dead.
Yeah, right. True. This is actually a good point for me to ask this question, because to this point, I think this conversation has been, we've talked a lot about what the promotion and the people around this incident did wrong. This is the point where, and I'm gonna throw this to Sampson first, because you have the MMA background. Where does Raja cross the line here? Like, even if all these things that we talked about, he got the beer can, he got shown up out back, where is it that Raja crosses the line and becomes in the wrong here in your eyes?
Well, you could say it was just showing up, and being in the locker room in the first place. But I think Raja's mentality was wrong the entire time. But again, he's uneducated, so I think that would just be when he decided to, quote, go into business for himself and spike him on his head and try to physically, seriously hurt this guy. That. That's just a skewed thought process in general, and it's like, even as an MMA fighter, it's like, when you're trained to do that kind of damage, you're not walking around trying to take liberties and like get people like that, like if whatever was talked about was like, yeah, man, pick me up, slam me, throw some punches, we'll have a big breakup or whatever. But he goes in there like, oh yeah, I'm going to slam him. All right. And I mean, he knew what he was doing, how he picked him up, and the way that he threw him down, that he was going to put him on the back of his head.
Right. And that's, I guess, what I was kind of going to get to with your MMA background. Is there anything about, I heard a lot of comparisons, I guess I should say, about Raja doing what a trained MMA fighter does, that what they saw there is what an MMA fighter does to win an MMA fight. Is that what you saw too? Or was he excessive even in that realm?
I mean, So as far as like closing out a fight, you stay on somebody until they stop you. So if it was instinctual and he was waiting to be pulled off, again, it's like that situation of somebody not really knowing the position that they're in and taking it too far, and honestly, I mean, he saw that he was knocked out. You had to have known he was knocked out. And like 9976. And if you know he's knocked out, I mean, that just comes down to being a good human. What is the point on camera in front of people? Like, are you trying to go to prison? Are you trying to get in trouble? Or do you just not care? Are you that much of a loose cannon? If you are, you probably shouldn't be in combat sports, period.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So even as an MMA fighter, right, Sampson, let's say you did this run in and you were told to go in and get a receipt, and you had never been in the wrestling business and you were just doing your MMA fight stuff. You would just be reacting like an MMA fighter. You're saying that even within seconds of that interaction happening, Raja should have realized, okay, it's time to let go. Even an MMA fighter with all those instincts still should have been like, oh, dude, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, because you don't want to do lethal damage to somebody. And the other thing is as an MMA fighter, I mean, I've been into the wrestling business, like as far as like, kind of being smart to it for a long time because my dad trained as a professional wrestler. But that being said, if I had no background, if I had no knowledge of anything, didn't know any of the etiquette or what any of these words really meant, and we did this spot and somebody's like, dude, you need to get your receipt, you need to go F him up, I'm gonna be like, hold on, I could seriously hurt this guy. Like, what do you mean F him up?
Right.
And then they're
there
going to say, okay, well, you're going to slam him a little bit, and then you get on him, and you're going to throw some forearms at him. You're going to pound some forearms, then you're going to hit him right here. You're going to do it like this here. Let's go over it. This is how you're going to F him up. Not just go F him up and gaslight him and have somebody seething because they've been embarrassed on their live stream and disrespected in a way, in a sense, in his mind.
Right.
And it's like, as a trained fighter, you have to handle those things differently. You have to know how to handle them, and you can't just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go put it on them. Like, I don't know, but me, when the cage door closes, I want to do what I want to do to win the fight, but I never really had it like in my mind to like want to kill somebody. You get up for it in a certain way mentally, and you have to be in a certain headspace because you're going to go do some damage, and you could take an injury, they could take an injury, it could be bad, it could be mild. That's just part of the game. But at the same time, it's like those guys generally, beat the crap out of each other, be super bloody, eyes split open, skin hanging, and after the fight, they're hugging, they're shaking hands, they become friends, they might train together, so there is like a general rule of like gentlemanship or respect to it. So that's where I feel like Raja was really out of line in general. To just see somebody out, you hit them once, twice, they're clearly out, and then you just turn the gas up and just start throwing as hard and as fast as you can until somebody finally comes out there and saves you.
Right.
And speaking of that, I mean, if Bob, you and I talked about it. I mean, even when you're watching, the wrestlers that are there, in the ring and go to pull Raja off, you can almost see the confusion on their face too. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's the gentleman. He's got the face paint on. It's almost like a half-hearted pull him off. It's almost like he's thinking it's this is part of what we're doing as well. It wasn't until I think it was a video from another angle where there's another wrestler that finally jumps in the ring and really tackles Raja off of Stu. And they really kind of get him in the corner and hold him in there. It just seemed like there was just confusion in so many places, and I can imagine in that kind of situation the chaos and the confusion it hits. But man, it just kind of highlights that everybody kind of seemed, everything was supposed to go left, and Raja just, man, he took off running for the door right, and it was chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought. Oh, Rich, I was going to ask you, what did you think? John kind of took me to the next spot anyway, which is the reaction, the pull apart. As we watched it initially, I thought, what the hell are these guys waiting for? What was your response to the reaction of the other workers and that delay in getting Raja off of Syko Stu?
A lot of them probably didn't understand a lot of stuff because a lot of them they don't know if it's legit or not. And that's the whole thing. And some people would probably not want to be involved in that
Mm-hmm.
because swinging for the fences, you don't care who he's hitting.
Yeah.
And that's where I think you're going to get, he's probably going to try for premeditated more than likely
Mm-hmm.
because of all the video stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talk about, you and I had a conversation about that, Rich, about the law. And I don't know if they're going to get him if they could get him on attempted murder. But certainly everything he did looked, I mean, you got evidence of him being premeditated for at least an hour.
Mm-hmm.
With plenty of opportunity to cool off, but being fueled instead. Do you think, Rich? So let me ask this. So this is first question, I guess, is you said that some of these guys may have not wanted to get involved because this guy is swinging for the fences. Do you agree with that? Is that a rational response? Like, or should they have all just jumped in and gotten the save a kid, save Stu?
I mean, they definitely should have, but like, I mean, you have probably 20 seconds to react.
Right.
So I mean, it's pretty much being an armchair quarterback at that point.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I want to ask you, Rich, because I didn't get back to you on the other question, though. Where do you think Raja Jackson was wrong here? I mean, taking into account Sampson's comments, what else do you think Raja Jackson did wrong?
He honestly just shouldn't have been there to begin with. Like, when he got invited in, you can get so many problems just from that aspect of it. Because like some of those people may have known who he was, but they may not have known who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And you have cameras around and stuff. Like it's very confusing. Like, we don't do any of that stuff for RPW as far as like have cameras around and all that stuff for Twitch or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
Any other social media.
Have you ever brought in? Well, again, we're still debating whether Raja was brought in or whether he showed up. But have you ever brought in outside talent like a Raja Jackson or like John and I? We were at Sacred Heart Church and we saw Emmanuel.
Yep.
Yeah, Dog, and we saw Emmanuel Rodriguez was there, and he threw a perfectly wonderful working punch, and Connor the Flag Boy laid out, and everything was smooth and it looked great. But you're saying, Rich, you've never brought somebody like that in?
I have never done it. No.
Is it with you? Is it a specific aversion, or is it just it hadn't happened yet?
Reason I won't do it is because, like, obviously I believe they should be paid to be there, and for us, it's an element of the booking fee. Is it worth the social media presence?
Right. Sampson, have you ever worked with somebody like that outside the business, a boxer, an MMA fighter that a promotion brought in? If you're able to, yeah.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
I haven't been with anybody that was untrained or from the outside.
Yeah. But you're saying if that did come up and you were put in a position like that, you would be extra careful to go over every single aspect of everything they're going to encounter from start to finish.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you have to, because even when you're green in the business, I mean, it's a pretty necessary thing when you're putting stuff together to
Hmm.
Ouch. You definitely don't want to go steps somebody who's a trained MMA fighter who's all hot and pissed off already.
Right. Yeah, man. And I think this is going to change a lot of things, but with Knokx being a WWE ID school, um, do you guys think, I'll start with Rich. Do you guys think there's dominoes that are about to fall with WWE ID? I mean, it seems like they've already removed, or John, they've removed Knokx from their ID listing. I think we talked about that before. Now there's only 4 schools. It doesn't seem like they've added a new one. They haven't ID'd any new talent in a while anyway. Is WWID in trouble? I know that's a huge question with a huge preamble, but do you think this has domino effect?
They've actually been releasing people from WWE AD.
Yeah. Right. I saw one.
I saw 3.
Okay. Yeah. I've started to wonder, John, what do you think, man? Like, I've started to wonder if dominoes are about to fall, and WWID doesn't look to be taking off as a concept in the first place.
No, I'm with you. I don't think it's had the effect that they were looking for in drawing the interest. I think a lot of the indie guys like you and I, the fans of indie have been kind of hesitant to take to it. Um, I don't know how the talent sees it. I mean, obviously that's not our forte. We can just talk about our view and our from the fandom side of it. You and I talk about the the evil empire all the time, and kind of uh, their hands and everything. And you and I kind of our initial knee jerk reaction, I think you and I spoke about, was kind of worried about, well, does this kind of open the door for some of these bigger companies to come in and decide, well, hey, there needs to be some sort of regulation, some sort of oversight, some sort of something. You and I think, worried more about what it could lead to as far as, somebody trying to use this in a way to kind of push their agenda and take over, um, some responsibility. I'm doing my air quotes here, responsibility, uh, for independent wrestling, where there doesn't need to be. But we know if anybody is going to jump on that and monetize it and try to use it to their advantage, it'll be a WWE type outfit.
Right. Um, yeah, Rich, what do you think? Like, do you think ID's crumbling?
I don't think it's crumbling. I think a lot of it's just when you have WID people involved in like other promotions, there's times where it's going to get WWE involved in your promotion,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to specifically want certain stuff for it's going to affect certain stuff.
Right. Yeah, I've been wondering about, and Rich and John mentioned something about regulation. I mean, is there a scenario, Rich, you're running a promotion, Sampson, you're involved with UPW. Is there any concern with regulating bodies using this to get involved in anything that you guys do? Or anybody trying to uniformly make some sort of standard for the entire business or rules of these kind of things?
I've never had anybody approach me from WID yet.
No, sorry. I mean, as far as the Raja Jackson incident, do you worry
Yep.
about governing bodies coming in, or state governing bodies or whatever, um, wanting to put their hands on this again, using this as an example to get their hands back in the wrestling pot, saying they need to govern things of this nature?
I think you're going to probably have issues with insurances. Like, I mean, there's places now that will require you to have insurance for each building.
Mm-hmm. So stuff like this makes insurance companies
Where,
more wary.
oh yeah,
Huh. That's an interesting thought. I hadn't really thought about that, John, about the insurance rates, but this thing's got ripples.
I mean, it absolutely. I mean, it's gotta affect somewhere, right? And why would it not affect, your overhead as far as your price of running the show? If a building has to worry about something like this happening, um, right or wrong, I mean, they've gotta have contingencies for that as well.
Right.
I mean, eventually, what's going to come out more than likely is some of these parents are going to sue the company, or they're going to sue the LLC because they do have an LLC. That's all. You can't sue the person; you can only sue the LLC.
Right.
But what they're going to do is they're going to sue the LLC, and they're going to pretty much make them pay or try and make them pay for the trauma and therapy that their kids had to involve after the incident.
Another very good point. Probably one that I should have thought of first, huh? Jesus Christ, what a terrible lawyer. But you're actually 100% right on that, Rich. That's exactly what is likely to happen. And there are a lot of effects of this, like you said, legal, insurance, the ripples are crazy. What did I? Oh, I know. One of the notes I had, I was going back while you were talking, Rich and Sampson. If you're able to, I know you're having a little trouble right now, but if you're able to talk, um, the idea that because Sampson and I were having a conversation a couple of weeks ago here on the show about Carney shit, and do is there is this a reason why WWE might say, look, we handpicked 5 schools and now one of them's already involved in some Carney shit. Let's just pull out. I mean, is that a fear with any big entity that tries to really get involved in the independents?
Definitely.
I mean, it's an
I mean,
easy out.
What's that, Sampson?
Said it's an easy out if it's not going the way they expected it to. Anyways, it definitely gives them a reason.
Right. Is it
Mhm.
fair? Like, I mean,
I don't
No,
think it's,
yeah, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say I don't think it's fair,
no good.
but it's one of those situations where they probably were told certain things to do and not do,
Hmm.
and more than likely they brought him in as like a media buzz, but didn't clue in the talent, and then you have a whole mess.
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense. And then again, like you said, that goes back to oversight. I mean, but if WWE can put out all these rules for these schools and the WWE ID talent and this kind of stuff still happens. I mean, they only picked 5 schools and one of them already got, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like Sampson said, it's an easy out, right? Like, screw this. Too much Carney shit.
100%, 100%. And like WWE likes to be where they can be, where it's positive light. If it's negative light, they're going to run away from it, and they should. I would do the same thing.
Right. Shoot, I had a question here. One last question. Oh, both of you guys, I'll throw this to Sampson. I know you were involved with operations at UPW on some level. I don't know anything more than that, but I mean, I know that you're involved. Rich, you run a promotion of your own all the time. How difficult
Yep.
does this incident, or do you think this incident will make it to run a wrestling promotion, both from a reputation standpoint of great, here's someone else making us look bad, to anything else that maybe we haven't mentioned that this incident is going to do to make your life harder or change?
Who did you want to go first?
It's fine. Samson?
I don't know if it'll necessarily have that type of ripple effect as far as excuse me, as far as just like running a show or being able to book shows. Like, I feel like it could, with enough media coverage, it could definitely affect insurance rates and things like that. But I don't know if it'll have that. I don't think personally it would have that type of a ripple effect where it's just going to make independent wrestling harder to do, especially if you're one of these promotions that's actually ran well and people enjoy working for you. Like it may cause a bigger issue for some of the, more carny type situations, but I think people that do business the right way, and act professionally, I think will still be able to do that because they have a good following. They have people that come to the shows. They have good workers that want to work for them, and so on and so forth. And they carry a good name within the industry. So, yeah, I think it'll, one hand washes the other there.
Right. That's fair. And Rich, would it be fair to say that, like Sampson was saying, there's people who do business the right way, and then there's the other group. Is it pretty well known? Telephone, telegram, telewrestler. Does everybody? Do most of the regulars on the circuit already know which ones are which? Do you guys know? Like, you wouldn't say it here on the radio, but I mean, as far as like in your head, you guys all know which ones are which? Do most of the workers know which ones are which?
I mean, it depends on your area. Like, I mean, if somebody's reaching out to us in New Mexico, they may not know who we are.
Right.
So I mean, but like people like in the area, yes.
Right.
As far as insurance, I think Sampson hit us right on. Like, I do think insurances will go up. I have places already that are making me get insurance for each building where that wasn't always the case.
Mhm.
We just had an LLC, but now they want actual coverage just because of incidentals.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Well,
we've had insurance for a while, so it's something I'm curious about because most of the venues we work do require that. So it's always part of the overhead, and it's like that. Conversion is good. That could be one of those things that could really hurt, because there's usually not a ton of room when it's all said and done for more overhead on an indie wrestling show.
Right.
100%. I agree 100% on that logic.
Well, on that note, guys, I know Sampson's got something he's got to do. Rich, I can hear you actively walking to work. So I won't hold you guys up any further, but I appreciate you very much coming on and having this conversation with us. It was I learned some stuff. And like I said, John and I say it all the time. We're not in the wrestling business. We lean on people who are.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. I'm sorry about the connection troubles.
No worries, bro.
I'll do this anytime. It was fun.
I appreciate it, Sampson. Thank you very much. Good luck to your son. Hope he has a good game, man. Stay safe.
Yes, I will. And Rich, I'm going to try to get down to your show here when those guys come up. I think end of the month here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm up in Marquette, so it's like a 3.5 hour drive, and I know a few guys that are booked on it, so I'd like to just come check it out.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Now we're ready to see Sampson.
Rich, have a good day, man.
Great. Yeah, see you, Rich. See you, Sampson. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.
Thanks.
Oh man, this is gonna be awesome, John. Like, as they're hanging up, like, we're gonna go out to Wisconsin. Gonna see Rich. Gonna see Sampson.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time, buddy.
Hey, man, that was so much fun. I love talking to those guys. They know so much stuff, and
it's nice to get, like I said, you and I can only speculate and give a fan perspective. It's really nice to get an inside perspective of, what really the locker rooms are probably thinking and what promoters are probably thinking. I mean, two of the best. So thank you very much, guys, for taking the time to talk with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we sort of jumped right into the show today because of time constraints. But speaking of experts giving their opinions, man, that show last week, the premiere of Underground Lucha Experience, John, that's where you are the expert, my friend. I learned quite a bit about Lucha Underground in just 2 episodes.
I don't know if it's an expert, but we'll go with a idiot savant. How about that?
Oh man, this shit was fantastic. I like watching those episodes.
Yeah,
just a blast.
I love the show, man, and it's great getting to hang out with my best friend and watch it and get to share that with anybody that may decide they want to listen. Whether they listened with us as we went, or maybe they find it later on and go back and listen to it. It's awesome to get to share the excitement and what that show meant to me in my wrestling fandom. And get to share that with everybody. So it's to me it's pretty special. So I really appreciate it, and I like that we get to share that a little bit.
Yeah, no, you make a good point though, because like any of the rewatch podcasts that I've listened to, I've not caught them from episode one. I've gone back and started at episode one and caught up. So hopefully people will just keep finding it and finding it and finding it and joining us, and then we'll see where it goes. But I don't care. Like you said, I'm just having so much fun watching it. It's so very different than what we do each week here on the main pod here, because it's, we cover a lot of different things there, and we were sort of just focused on one thing, and Lucha Underground is its own unique thing anyway.
That exactly right, man. It is so uniquely its own thing. There has been nothing like it, and not before, and we haven't seen anything yet like it after. And it is just a moment in time that is, to me, so perfect and so fun. That, man, I'm glad we're sharing it with everybody, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Well, we're doing kind of a shortened episode this week as well, because the roundtable took up quite a bit of time. So we're gonna go right into the control center. And John, I told you
Nice.
I went a little nuts this week, and so we got a lot
I
going
like to
on
hear,
here.
buddy.
I got 5 shows to cover today with everyone. Very much looking forward to these. Everything is happening on Saturday except the first show that we're going to talk about here. That's Power Pro Lucha. They are having a show, a 2-night show called Kronos Trios, nights 1 and 2. That's going to take place at the Arlen Specter U.S. Squash Center on 30th Street in Philadelphia, which is close enough that I might just, you know how I get, John. Sometimes I just take off. So Philadelphia. But anyway, so from the ad, the quote is, "If history is to change, let it change. A 2-night lucha extravaganza, a tournament steeped in tradition, a celebration of trios wrestling unlike any other. 8 revered teams have been invited to compete in Power Pro Lucha's inaugural Triple Tech Trials." That's a mouthful. Which of these teams has the drive, the will, and the power to emerge victorious and become the first ever Power Pro Lucha Triple Tech Trials winners? Your first round matches: Fist, made up of Travis Huckabee, Ryan Mooney, and Tony Deppen, taking on the Colony. Everybody knows the Colony: Worker Ant, Ultimo Ant, Electro Ant. Also, Gummy Burger, which is Cheeseburger, Erica Lee, and Boar. Bro, I'm already into this. This is already
I am in.
game, right? Like, there's no doubt. That's awesome.
Take my money.
That's it. They're gonna
give me this shirt. I need this shirt.
Oh, hell yeah, good point. Where's Pro Wrestling Tees right now? I need my Gummy Burger. I love it. It's funny when I put this stuff together, sometimes I'm just copying and pasting and I don't really get the full, I'm just getting the full effect of this right now. They're going to take on the high flying Star Machines, Bojack, Diego Hill, and BK Westbrook. 2 more first round matches: the Spectral Envoy, which is Ultra Mantis Black, Hallow Wicked, and Frightmare. What's up? Taking on Team Flying V Fights, which is Cayman MK, Eel O'Neill, and Jordan Blade. That one is going to go nuts. Oh, wait, sorry.
That's going to be a good one.
I screwed up. I was reading 2 different lines. The Spectral Envoy, Ultra Mantis Black, Hallow Wicked, and Frightmare, taking on the Zyberhawk. Sorry, I read on the wrong line. Razorhawk, Dangerhawk, and Thunderhawk. The last first round match is the Delinquents. That's Jet Jagori, Saul Esparza, and Mikey Banker, taking on Team Flying V Fights, which is Cayman MK, Eel O'Neill, and Jordan Blade. You've also got Baron Mind is going to take on Bobby Orlando in a singles contest. And then we've got the very first ever Into the Wild match in Power Pro Lucha history. Creatures of the Deep are going to take on Big Calix and Fenris. And Mr. Nicodemus John has called out Big Calix.
The following
Uh-oh.
communique is directed to Big Calix, per your outburst on the socials. Unbeknownst to you, your inclusion in this bout was at the direct request of our sponsor, Wild Fork, offering the finest quality meats and seafood at the lowest prices, and has no bearing on our prior affiliation. However, since you missed our premiere event, available on IWTV, allow me to smarten you up. You see, Mr. Nicodemus, that would be moi, is the power broker. The power broker is the power in Power Pro Lucha. So the next time you get in your fifis, I suggest that you dislodge your caps lock and you approach this like the pro in Pro Wrestler. Now, you can stand on ceremony, or you can go out on Chrono Trios, September 12th, the Art Inspector Squash Center, and you can show that audience that you are a force to be reckoned with, greater than you have ever been, that you do not let your past dictate your future, that after a soul-searching journey of discovery, you have emerged a more authentic self. You are the thermostat and not the thermometer, the bear in the woods and not the man. Embrace your destiny, Big Calix, because you have earned self-determination. And I guarantee that on that day, there will be a child in the audience for whom you will be their hero. Or not. My plan B is one of those monsters from Kaiju Big Battle, and quite frankly, I'm growing intrigued by the idea. You have less than a fortnight to decide, Big Calix. Don't disappoint.
Bro, I love that promo so much. I could listen to it over and over again.
That was fire. That was awesome.
Dude, it was like, I don't know, Damian Sandow and Nick Bockwinkel like turned up to like, I don't know. There's not enough promos like that. He didn't raise his voice one time.
I'll tell you, man, it's there's something a little intimidating about it, right? And
Right.
man, Calix has gotta answer that call, right?
Seriously, absolutely.
Jeez.
Speaking of someone else who has to answer a call, Harleen Lopez is now the holder of the Prodigy Cup Championship, and it wasn't long after the last event, John, that she was challenged by Junie Underwood.
Scott Holiday here with Harleen Lopez, the holder of the Prodigy Cup.
Chrono Trios, Prodigy Cup, you and I.
You want one more shot? You got it.
It is on, John. You want the shot? You got it.
You got it. Oh man, that's somebody looking for a fight, Bob.
Yeah, man. And Harleen Lopez is your queen of the north up there. Brie combination. Harleen Lopez is not to be messed with. I ain't fighting Harleen Lopez. So
No.
So good luck to Junie in that one. Holy cow. Maybe bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah, maybe.
We are still on night one, John, because there, in addition to everything else I just listed, there's also the Nat Grupp Invitational Battle Royal, and the announced entrance so far, Bill Goldbergler.
Not Bill Goldbergler.
That's it. I love it. I want to see Bill Goldbergler versus Gilbert.
Oh, I can't.
Also in the Battle Royal, we got Shay McCoy, Filipino Grigio, Eli Isom, Kefka the Quiet, Wildflower, Ben the Bean, Dr. Ethan Wild, and John Dylan
Oh,
Mesh.
man. Dylan Mesh.
You think he's got a shot?
I think somebody's getting breadsticks, brother.
It wasn't us. It's never been us. I ain't getting no breadsticks.
No, but I'll tell you what, Dylan could be the sleeper here, man.
He could. He absolutely could. But that's only night one, John. This moves into night two. So all these first round matches, then you're going to have the semifinals and the finals of the Triple Tech Trials on night two, officiated by AEW's Bryce Remsburg. That's pretty cool.
All right. That's neat, man.
And in addition to all that, we're going to see the Power Pro Lucha debut of a team I know John knows. Violence is Forever.
I love them.
Kevin Koo and Dominic Guarini. A big fan
love
of them
Kevin
too.
Koo. Yeah. Love Koo. Love Guarini. Man, they are they're two nasty individuals, man. Not guys you want to get on the wrong side of.
No, absolutely not. Well, Hands of Fate are on the other side, and I wish them. I guess I'll just say via con Dios, guys.
I hope your insurance was paid up, boys.
On top of all that, we got the Ace of the Skies ladder match featuring Ichiban, Weber Hatfield, Kylon King, Ultra Jaguar, Devious Cass, the young prodigy, Flying Ryan O'Neal, and Julesy. That match is going to be off the chain.
Dude. Man, dude. This one sounds extremely interesting. I mean, come on, man. Anytime you get a chance to see Devious Cass dude, Ichiban, let's go.
We just saw
Kylon King yes, we did. And Kylon King is no joke, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Weber Hatfield's your labor of love champion. It's just, this is just a stacked ladder match, man. My Lord, it's going to be awesome. And then on top of that, you've got Delmi Exo's going to be there taking on Shay McCoy in a women's match. Anybody who isn't in the loop on Delmi Exo and Ashley Vox, definitely get in the loop on them because they are fantastic. And
Absolutely.
Shay McCoy, I'm just getting into understanding how great Shay McCoy is. She just actually battled Weber Hatfield last week at Labor of Love for that title. So they're going around the Philly circuit.
Yeah, no, I don't know much about Shay McCoy, but yeah, if she's challenging Weber, then I gotta check that out because that means she's not pulling any punches in there. So Delmi, we know what Delmi's got, but man, she might have her hands full.
Facts. Well, the other four shows that we have to cover this week, John, are all on Saturday, the 13th of September. Moving on to WrestleMerica. They're having a show called Mixed Madness at Monroe County Rec Center in Forsyth, Georgia. Says WrestleMerica has the action you want at Mixed Madness, September 13th, only at Monroe County Parks and Recreation. You don't want to miss what we have in store for you. John, starting off with a mixed tag team match, Parker Lee and Hyena Hera are going to be there taking on the team of Hunter James and Cheyenne Michaels. And they have been on social media, John. Hunter and Cheyenne have been on there prepping for this match for a while, giving us updates. This is their latest training session and update as they make their final preparations for this Saturday.
All right, you see where she's going to move?
Right.
Okay, so that's called her finish. If she does that, lights out. It's done.
Right, and then I hit her with the microphone.
No, we've been over this. You can't hit her with the microphone. That's a DQ. That's not allowed.
So boring.
I get it. You're choosing violence now. But, look, she's a trained professional. You're a ring announcer. This is not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. It's life-threatening, and there's everything involved. We just spent hours out there training, right? You just have to remember the training. You just have to survive. You just have to survive. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got this.
Do you?
No.
All right, look, Wrestle America. We still have a little time. September 13th, a little bit away. Lightning Parker Lee, Hyena, Hollywood Hunter James, Cheyenne Mike. So you say the one thing that's bringing the whole house down is people chanting Cheyenne, and they're going to be slap her, slap her, slap her. So when you slap the taste out of her mouth, you'll have all the Cheyenne maniacs running wild.
With the microphone.
No, not with the microphone. Okay, we got to go back to training.
I like
Man,
that. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say somebody needs to make sure she does not have the microphone.
No, I disagree. Strong disagree here, John. I think she should have the microphone at all times. Especially when they start chanting Cheyenne, Cheyenne, slap her, slap her. I'm excited. I didn't catch on to that. Cheyenne being the ring announcer. So she must have a serious beef with Hyena Hera and Parker Lee for her to jump in the ring and be a part of this. And I hope that she gets all of her licks in.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
How far is Forsyth, Georgia, John?
I don't know, but we might have to look this up real quick. I'll come back to you. Give me a minute.
Gotcha. Oh man.
Oh man.
In addition to that match, Wrestle America champion KJ Impala is going to team up with Hayden Seal to take on the team of King Shit, which is Fry Daddy and CT Keys. The tag team championships are on the line. The Backbone will defend against Happy Madness. The Liberty Championship is on the line. Duncan Avicilla is the challenger, and he's looking to dethrone Bryce Cannon.
Boys and girls, chooches of all ages, it is your Liberty champion, the Frat Daddy Bryce Cannon, and I am here to talk about September 13th. A huge show happening in Forsyth, Georgia. Wrestle America presents Mixed Madness. Now look, with such a big show, you can't leave the champion off the card. No. So what we did is we issued out a little challenge, and we had a certain chooch answer that in Duncan Mitchell. Mostly everybody knows who you are, and you've got a resume like most. So, with that being said, September 13th is a phenomenal opportunity to prove that you belong with the best. You see, the Frat Daddy, I've made my name. I've stated my claim here in Georgia. I've won titles against you at promotions, defended titles against you, and the same result is going to happen September 13th. The Frat Daddy will walk away Liberty champion. Everybody will buy a ticket to the next event because it is the most important event in Georgia. Halloween Hell. So the Frat Daddy got word that there's a little gauntlet happening September 13th. So whoever is man enough to win that will get an opportunity to face the Frat Daddy at Halloween Hell. How does that sound, fellas?
Ooh-wee.
Bryce Cannon is not afraid of anyone. He's ready to take on all comers, man. That's he's already looking past Duncan though, and that's what I'm worried about. You look past Duncan, there's gonna be a problem.
We're only one way to find this out, Bob, and that's to get in there and slap some meat, buddy.
That's right. Also on this show on Saturday, September 13th, Wrestle America Mixed Madness. Luca Daniels and Michael Stevens will come face to face. And we also have a gauntlet match to determine the number one contender for the Liberty Championship, which is what Bryce was talking about at Halloween Hell, featuring Dominic Stuckey, Des Chastain, Jacob Johnson, Dax Anthony, and Christian Taylor.
Washing your hands is an important part of having good hygiene. Cooking eggs in the morning is a part of a balanced breakfast. Why do they hate me and not others? Why am I so bad? Sometimes, though, there has to be another chance. I get a thought in my head, and I get a little angry, and I start thinking, why do these people hate me? To show them September 13th. The only difference between me and them is I accept what I am. I don't try and hide my darkness behind some mask. I know their boos are nothing but jealousy. It means nothing to me. I've seen what makes them cheer. Saturday, September 13th, in the #1 contendership gauntlet for the Liberty Championship, I'll show all these fans that I've always been genetically superior to them. I will give in to my violent desires.
Bro, the voices, bro.
That was awesome. Oh, so good.
Whoa, that someone needs to check on your boy. He's struggling.
Is this a sanctioned match? I need to know who sanctioned this.
Oh my god, that match is going to be insane. Oh my
Literally.
goodness. Yeah, right, absolutely. Jeez, oh flip. This show is going to be awesome, man. According to today's post, second row and general admission are still available. Excuse me. Tickets are on sale now. I think it's on Ticket Leap, but you can check WrestleAmerica's social media for that link. The online presale ends September 12th at 9 p.m. At show day. Doors open 6:30. Show starts at 7:30. Again, WrestleAmerica Mixed Madness, Monroe County Rec Center. That's going to be fun. Now listen,
it'll be a lot of fun.
Again, we keep getting with these loops, right? Like Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. I mean, that's our East Coast trip right there. Well, we got one coming up that's in Iowa here, but that's
Yeah. So we did do a little check, man. Forsyth is just a quick little 10.5 hour jump from your place, man. 11.5 for mine. So, I mean, that's an afternoon drive right there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a commute home from work. That's no problem.
Some days.
Yeah,
DC
right.
area, yes, some days.
That's actually true. I was kidding, but you're absolutely right. Holy shit, man. Well,
hey, man, and I'm just saying, you're talking about this loop down at East Coast. We do have a hookup, at least a bed to rest our head in North Carolina now. So I'm just saying, if we could find something in that Charlotte, Asheville, Huntersville kind of area, man, we might make a trip down there.
Wait, has Jordan been cleared on this, or are we just going to assume he's good and we're just going to take the place over?
Oh, we're just taking it over.
Oh,
man.
Good. Like the night of the Did Milkmen concert?
Yeah. Oh, ooh. I thought, hey, Ixnay on the concert, Bob.
Hey, that was mine. I was in rare form that night. That was a special night.
That was a special night. But I look at it this way. My son's fiance, she's a little woman, so I think the three of us have a chance. Is all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, right. That's right.
She's no Delmy XO, but we'll see.
Right. That's right. Well, speaking of North Carolina, this next show, I'm going to apologize to Apple City. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not apologize to them in advance, but see, they made a mistake, John. Like, I reach out and I see these promos, and I really, you and I have kind of become promo collectors. Like, I love listening to these promos. I love listening to guys hype up their matches.
Love them.
And so then I hear good ones, and I reach out to the promotions, and I ask for permission to use the audio on the podcast. It's not my audio. I want to do the right thing. And I get back usually versions of yes, that's fine. Go ahead. Thank you. But Apple City made the mistake of saying, Bob, feel free to use any of the released content you need.
Lords of Wrestling, please forgive them, for they know not what they do.
They might have made a mistake because I tend to go nuts. At the same time, though, I think this show is going to be an absolute banger. This is Apple City Championship Wrestling, John. WrestleGate 2, taking place at Brookford Town Hall in Hickory, North Carolina. Their ad says, "Get ready, Hickory. The countdown is on for the most electrifying night of the year. ACCW Live WrestleGate 2 is coming to blow the roof off the Brookford Town Hall. This is family-friendly live professional wrestling and high-octane sports entertainment at its absolute best. Experience all the slams, surprises, and showdowns as your favorite ACCW superstars step inside the ring for an unforgettable night of action, drama, and adrenaline. Meet the stars, arrive early, and get up close with the wrestlers before the action begins. Big matches, big moments. You never know who might show up or what might go down. Bring the whole family for a night they'll never forget. This is a live highspots.tv taping. All right, so you want to be on TV? In addition to getting to see the wrestling, you're going to be on TV? Awesome.
Hey man, we're gonna have to, just you and I need to catalog and just stick it in our brains here about this Apple City Championship Wrestling, man. Because one, this looks phenomenal, right?
Right.
Looks like one that we would love. And your boy just Google mapped it, and we're talking less than an hour from Jordan's place.
Yes.
So I'm just saying they're with it. They are within an hour of my son in North Carolina, so might be a little trippity trip.
Oh, now we're talking. Hell yes. Okay, well, let's tell everybody what we got happening actually on the card. Doors open at 6. Showtime is 7 o'clock. We're starting off. We featured him on here before because his promos are so good, but Psycho Boy Fodder is going to be appearing in this show. They've tasked him with taking on Johnny Black. And let's hear what Psycho Boy Fodder had to say about this.
They say the sun sets on everyone, but it shines on the bold. And as the Psycho Boy makes his debut at Apple City Championship Wrestling, the matchmakers have served me up Johnny Baker. He's big. He's crunk, drunk as a skunk, looking for a fight. Well, if you're looking for a fight, you got the right guy, and, well, I think ACCW, that's the right place. So when you step across the ring from the Destroyer of Worlds, I'm gonna hit you with the Psycho Slam, and then pin your shoulders to the mat for the 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, I'm gonna grab my trusty Psycho stick and give you the beating of a lifetime.
Fodder, your Psycho Slam and your Psycho stick, bring them. But I'll go ahead and tell you, you get that Psycho stick in the ring with me, and I'm gonna shove it directly up your ass. I don't care what kind of shape you in. You can't train a champ. When this 30-06 hits you, you're going out. WrestleGate. Fodder. You find out what Johnny Baker's all about. GDR.
Woo, those two are...
Dude. Oh.
Johnny Baker
was
ain't
I
backing
talked
down.
into the building? Yes, I was. I was talked right into the building, right into my seat. Here's my wallet. Let's just have a good time. Wow.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
Psycho Boy is, we know what we're getting with that, but man, Johnny, that was pretty intense, man.
He ain't scared.
Not scared at all.
Johnny Baker's ready to send Psycho Boy Fodder back where he came from, it sounded like to me.
Whew.
Man, we got more. Jake Parker's going to be there, taking on James Johnson. Morgan Dash, who I have seen up here at Assault Championship Wrestling and is just a high flyer that I'm just a big fan of Morgan Dash. But he's going to be taking on Don Furio.
Morgan Dash, the Green Flash, huh? Fast feet, fast mouth, slow brains. It looks like Morgan Dash is stepping into WrestleGate 2 like it's a game. Except this ain't a comic book, kid. This is business. My business. And seeing as this is our first encounter, there's a couple things you need to understand about the magnificent Don Furio. 1, I don't chase the spotlight. I own it. 2, I don't fight for cheers. I fight for glory. When I step out that curtain, the people know the package that I present is superstardom. They feel it, they know it, I know it, and you know it. When you lock eyes with the magnificent Don Furio, you have already lost. So, run, jump, fly, Do what you do. Run for as long as you can, because the fact of the matter is it's only a matter of time before I catch you. And when I do, I'm putting you down. When Furio puts you down, you stay down. Permanently. This is WrestleGate, buddy. And the gates of hell are open day and night. I'll see you on the 13th. If you dare.
The gates of hell are open day and night, bro. I'm Phew. These guys are going hard. These promos are going hard today.
Dude, this is no joke.
Seriously, man. We're still going. Tag team ladder match. We got ladder matches this weekend, John, and I'm here for all of them. Hustle and Flow going to challenge Damn Extreme for the Apple City Championship Wrestling tag titles in a ladder match. Ugh, that's going to be nuts. And then this month, ranked number 19 in the Indie Wrestling Experience overall men's rankings, Drew Hood is going to be there taking on Brad Attitude, and Drew Hood has some opinions.
The one-star quarterback, from high school to college to the pros, he seeks and achieves fame and fortune. And as his career winds down, he hears about a young upstart, a fresh, new starting quarterback on the block, and thinks that he can go back and show that starter what he can do. But that young starter is more devious, more cunning, more intelligent, more calculating than that one-star QB will ever understand. Brad Attitude, after all of the sophomoric tactics I used to draw you out of hiding, now I get to do what I've wanted to do for months. I get to take the one star and snuff out his shine. At WrestleGate, Brad, not only do I get to deflate your ego once and for all, I get to prove that the necessary evil of pro wrestling is as great as he preaches. After all, Brad, don't you know? The devil's in the details. Welcome.
Ooh-wee.
Where the handsome devil runs this shit.
Woo-wee! I love that,
nasty.
man. Love it. Holy wow. Drew Hood. That's a guy to watch. I'm telling you, man. The handsome devil. Let's see. So on Saturday, again, we're talking about Apple City Championship Wrestling, WrestleGate 2. The ACCW title is going to be on the line as number 1 defends against Landon Hale. We've also got a women's title match as Casey Fox is going to take on Brittany Jade. And let's take a listen to Casey Fox finding that out.
Looks like I'll be facing Brittany Jade next month. And in case you've forgotten, Casey Fox, Queen of Southern Sass, has built this women's division. There would be no women's division without me. So I think we know where that title will be next month. Right? Here.
Right here! Pretty Jade's here. You said you didn't care if it was me or Joya. Unfortunately for you, Pookie,
Me. Why do you even have that on your shoulder? That's not
because
even your
I might as well
anyway.
take it, baby.
No.
What chance do you stand?
Really?
Really?
You wouldn't be here if it weren't for me.
No, I wouldn't be here. You gave me my first couple matches, but while you were sitting out for years, I've been keeping your spot warm. I've been running this division. While Casey's been on the beach and drinking her lattes and seeing her man, Brittany Jade's been putting in the work. What does Casey Fox do? Back from vacation?
I guess we'll just settle this next month. But you need to get that off your shoulder.
I guess
Because
we'll
it
see.
doesn't belong to you.
But it looks better on me, and we'll see about that next month, Southern Sass.
These two do not like each other.
Wow. You know, we're going to find out if an old dog has learned some new tricks in this one, Bob.
Seriously, man. Oh, man. I'm a big fan of Brittany Jade, so I would watch out for her, no doubt.
Absolutely.
So we had one last match. It was announced early on. Alexander Moss versus Rob Killjoy. big match. Rob Killjoy, big name. And then Rob Killjoy got injured. I think it was last weekend at a show up here in Philadelphia, I want to say. I may be wrong about that. But anyway, Rob Killjoy, realizing that he was losing this spot, decided to assign John his own replacement opponent for Alexander Moss this Saturday. Let's take a listen to Rob Killjoy's announcement.
Well, this isn't really the easiest thing for me to do or say. Most you know by now, the past couple of days have not gone the way that I had hoped. I've been wrestling for over 20 years now. Never been injured, never had a broken bone. I get hurt a lot, but I can work through it. I can play through the pain, but right now I'm down and out. I've got my ankle propped up with some ice on it. I got an appointment to see about surgery. My ankle's broken and I'm out of commission for a bit, and that's just, it's not something easy for me to admit. It's not something that's ever happened to me before, and I'm having a hard time not being in denial about it, but got a lot of big things coming up that now I can't take part in, and that's unfortunate. That makes me sad. That upsets me more than I can verbalize. I've given everything to wrestling. Wrestling's all I've ever cared about, and now I'm not going to be able to do that for a while. Now, don't get me wrong, I will be back. I will be coming back. That timeline, I'm not sure yet. I won't make it as soon as possible, within reason, of course. I apologize to the fans. I apologize to the promoters. I apologize to anybody who was looking forward to seeing me, who was looking forward to wrestling me, who was looking forward to paying me to wrestle for them. And now as I lay here out of commission, one of the biggest matches that I've ever had was for ACCW this Saturday against Alexander Moss. I was going to beat him for that Catawba Valley Championship, and if I didn't, then I was going to have to leave ACCW. Now, I've made a name for myself as Apple City Ace for a reason. But now, Moss doesn't have to beat me to get rid of me, because I'm out for a while. But I'm not out forever. So, Moss, I haven't forgotten about you. And fans, I haven't forgotten about you. So, there's only one thing I could think of that would help make this just a little bit better. Obviously, we can't give the fans what they want to see, but I can give them something different, something just as valuable. Alexander Moss, I've called it a personal favor. You're still wrestling Saturday. You still have a match. I made a request of a good friend of mine, somebody that we go way back. So this Saturday, Alexander Moss, you will be in action at ACCW. I will be there watching from my merch table, so you guys make sure to buy a t-shirt and some ducks. So I'll be there, and I need some to make up for some of this lost income. But who's coming for you? None other than the blue-collar badass, J.D. Drake.
Ooh.
Quack, quack.
J.D. Drake.
Oh, wow.
Shit. All right.
Yeah, I hope Alexander Moss didn't think he was getting off easy. Because, man, J.D. Drake, whoo. And, man, that was, one, it was a good promo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, boy, did the emotion in that from Rob Killjoy just, man, it hits you right in the heart, doesn't it?
It does, no doubt about it. It is, I feel for
that was
the guy.
hard to listen to.
It was, and we hope. I don't know if he's got any kind of GoFundMe or anything set up to help with his injuries or whatever. But
we'll have to look into that for sure.
But if nothing else, like you said, go on Saturday, buy a T-shirt, say hello.
Exactly.
I mean, God,
yeah,
the matches are going to be insane.
Yeah, it is. That card is crazy. Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, Hickory is not that far away, so don't be surprised if we show up. But again, thank you, and I hope Apple City. I hope you guys. I hope I didn't take too many liberties.
Thank you guys.
I couldn't decide. I couldn't pick just one. I liked all the promos so much.
Yeah, absolutely, and like you said, man, beyond generous to let us, use those, to get into our show and to pop you guys and promote you guys, and hopefully you guys listen and man, somebody reaches out, man. We'd love to say hello, and like you said, you guys are not that far, so don't be surprised if we pop in on you
at any moment.
You never know.
Well, like I said, doors open at 6, showtime is 7. Tickets are available on Ticket Stripe, but check out ACCW's social media for the direct link for tickets for this Saturday. We got 2 more shows to go, John. This Saturday at the Mecca, my spot in Richfield Park, New Jersey, the world famous Mecca. New Age Wrestling is having a show called Now Home. Their advertisement says on September 13th, NAW makes a glorious comeback to Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, presenting 7 thrilling matches that epitomize the greatness and excellence that have cemented its iconic status. Woo! Okay.
Nice.
We're going to start things off with a student versus teacher dark match. I think they said it starts at quarter till the hour before the show starts. Chris Kyle is going to battle his teacher, Nutrius X. Then the main show starts. Oh, here it is. Sorry, 5:30 bell time, 6 o'clock. So that's 5:45 when that show is going to, or when that first match is going to start. When the main show starts at 6, we are going to have Johnny Vega taking on Hakeem Ali. Let's hear from Hakeem Ali about this match.
Johnny Vega. As I stand here in the protein shop, as you can see, it's different varieties. Well, it's going to be different varieties that I'm going to bring to you in our match, September 13th. You will step into the ring with one half of the House of Pain, Hakeem Ali. So Johnny Vega, you bring your head game, because I'm going to bring mine. I'm always training. I'm always doing what I have to do to get that W. And you just another victim on the list. So I see you September 13th.
Just another victim on the list.
Man, that's some confidence, man. Ali is not lacking, that's for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, also on this show, Chris Cage is going to defend his title against Jarrett Diaz. You're going to have Max Capacity there taking on Dio Mendoza. And in a tag team match, Trey Philippe, John, and John Tella have finally decided to join forces. They're going to take on First Class. Let's hear from Trey Philippe and John Tella.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the freshest athlete in the game, the freshly Trey Philippe here. And it feels good to be back. By September 13th, New Age Wrestling, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, I got to deal with First Class again. Again and again and again for months, years. But clearly I can't trust any of my friends. They've all turned on me. So what's the next best thing? Maybe turn to one of my long-time enemies.
You feel that? You feel that? Feel that rumbling beneath our feet right now?
Shake it.
There's people turning in their graves. See, after 10 years of us constantly trying to kill each other, no one would have thought this day would have came. But here we are, actually going to be on the same page for once, right?
That will work.
How about, yeah, good enough. That's like punching each other still, right? So that's cool. Yeah. So now, they always say, love your enemies and hate your friends. Because your enemies say the same, your friends always change. And now, come on September 13th at Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Don't be saying we kicked your ass. Just be happy we didn't kill you.
I like that. And if you don't know by now, you're going to get familiar.
Ooh,
be happy we didn't kill you. That is a statement.
Let me tell you something. The first thing I thought when I listened to this double promo here was I want to go back and see these guys fight each other now.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Right? Like, holy shit. Let me go back and check out the history of this deal, because these guys are intense and they've been against each other for 10 years. Now they're going to turn all of that animosity outward at First Class. Do not envy them either.
No.
Whew. Like you said, talk them into the building. That one would talk me into the building. 3 more matches on this show. Again, this is New Age Wrestling Now Home, going to take place at the Mecca in Ridgefield Park on Saturday the 13th. Kamikaze is going to take on Azrael. Jay Vara is going to be there taking on Angel Jaquez. And Richard Adonis is going to take on Prince Ahmed. Let's hear from Richard Adonis.
For the last 8 years, I have been honing what I do, not just here in Florida, not just in the States, but all across the world. I was just in England. I was just in Wales. I was just in Scotland, and now I'm back here in the States. New Age Wrestling. I make my return against none other than Prince Ahmed. Ahmed, you may be a prince, but you're looking at a king.
Okay, all right. You think he ran into British Greg when he was over there all that time, or?
That's what I'm thinking, man. I mean, we'll have to get that Limey on here and see what he's got to say.
He ain't coming on this show, man.
No, man, it's too much wrestling to watch.
It is. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Greg. Oh my God. Well, that show's going to be awesome. Again, guys, doors open at 5:30. Bell time is at 6. Check NEW social media, or Eventbrite is where the tickets are available. So check either for ticket information. Again, you're looking for New Age Wrestling Now Home. Finally, on Saturday, John, out in Iowa. Now, it's going to be hard for us to add this one to the loop. But Live Pro Wrestling Iowa is having Overdrive at the Transco Events on Frederick in Olwine, Iowa. Their ad says, it's time to go into overdrive. Live Pro Wrestling debuts in Olwine on Saturday, September 13th at Transco Events on Frederick for a night of absolute chaos, championship glory, and the biggest fights you've seen all year. John, we've got quite a card here. The Live Pro Wrestling Championship is going to be on the line. QC Wayne is going to defend against Jackson King. There are 4 singles matches. Javier Santiago taking on Colin Anthony. Sully Sunshine taking on El Mejor Mascara. Josie Valentine versus Jordan Ruth. Antonio taking on Shane McKay. In tag team warfare, the LPW tag titles will be on the line as in a triple threat as Jay and Jack versus Supernova versus Jacob and Gorm. And then we've also got Dean Wilson's Open Challenge, a huge announcement you won't want to miss, and one last match, right? And one last match, the vacant Midwest title will be, a new Midwest champion will be crowned. Andy is going to battle Adam Love. These guys are, the intensity here, John, is off the charts. I'm going to start with Andy. Let's hear from him.
March 17th, 2024. Everything stopped. We were family. You broke it. For a year, I lived with pain. I lived with doubt. I lived with a scar that never lets me forget. One wrong move, my knee was ripped apart. Surgery, screws, the brace. Every second was a reminder of what you stole. But I didn't quit. I fought through it, night after night. Scarred but unbroken. And Adam Love, all that pain didn't end me. It made me more dangerous. September 13th, in your hometown, your career ends where mine refuses to die.
Ooh-wee. You were not kidding about the intensity, were you?
Right? Seriously, these guys, this is a year. This match has been building for over a year. And Adam Love has his, let's call it his perspective on this feud as well. Let's hear from Adam Love.
Making friends in this business is one of my downfalls. I'll admit that. But something I do not regret is being your friend, Andy. From the very beginning, from the day I met you, we just clicked. We gelled. We've been friends in the ring. We've helped each other in the ring. We've fought each other in the ring. We have similar styles, similar senses of humor. And when I won my first singles championship, my only singles championship, you were right there supporting me the whole way. And when I lost it, you were still right by my side. And then in a freak accident, you tore your ACL. But that wasn't the only part of you that snapped that day. Because you blamed me for the injury. You blamed me for your time lost. And the only way you were gonna feel better was taking that same amount of time away from me. With another huge twist of the knife that it has in my back, fate has me standing across from you again. But for this time, the last time, it's for the Midwest Championship.
I should have just played those two promos back to back. It would have sounded like a movie trailer.
Dude, that is crazy. I mean, there's a lot of history there that I didn't realize that now I do, and now I want to see it something fierce.
Right? I mean, holy cow, man. That's the way that is how you get me. That's how you, I mean, I've watched a lot of wrestling over the years. I've seen a lot of matches and a lot of angles, but you will always get my attention with some, I mean, there's emotions involved here, John.
But dude, anytime you get friends turning on each other, man, that's 50 years from now when we got competing podcasts, man, it's going to be a thing.
You're right. That's going to suck.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
You're right, man. Oh shit. But yeah, no, that was, I would love to get out there and see this show. I don't know much about Owine, Iowa either. But if I'm moving out to Chicago, I might be learning about Iowa.
Puts it in reach, man.
Yeah, it does. So
I'll tell
you folks out there at Live Pro Wrestling here, when I get myself settled out in the Chicago area, you may be seeing this face very soon. And John, how lucky are they, to get to see this face? Crickets.
It's rainy today, everybody. It's a little chilly.
Oh, shit, man. Well, listen, that is Live Pro Wrestling Iowa's Overdrive at Transco events on Frederick in Owine, Iowa on Saturday. Doors at 6, bell time 6:30. Tickets start at just $8. Dude. I think Big Macs are more than that now. Like, what? Tickets start at $8. Be there live and witness history when the Midwest goes into overdrive. Front row is sold out, but you can still get good tickets using Live Pro Wrestling Square Link, which is on their social media, the advertisement for this event. The link is right there for you to use and get your tickets. $8. Jeez, oh flip, man. That's I don't know how they do it.
Dude, that's a value meal right there, my friend.
My God, man.
It's a value wrestling meal.
And again, then I say, I think this is going to be our marker for this kind of stuff for a while. But $8, John, versus 16,230. What was it for the front the front row of SummerSlam? I mean,
dude,
how can you?
Don't even get me going. It is crazy. It's almost comical. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good thing that, and this is what it was. I mean, this is the reason we do this podcast. Really, I mean, I'd say it's a good thing that we have companies like Live Pro Wrestling and RPW and all these other places, UPW out here, making wrestling accessible to families as WWE is focused on increasing its bottom line, which, hey, that's what businesses do. But they are pricing families out. So where can families go to have a good time and see good wrestling? Guys, you're not going to find a better place.
No. And you and I see lots of it, and man, it's a good time to be had. It's good family fun. I've yet to be to a show that kids are not, welcome to and encouraged to be at, and actively, sought out by the talent to make sure they're having a good time. So, family friendly. Yes, we are. So come on out, man. And $8, you can't beat that. That is plenty of value for your money to make you come on out and open your wallet.
Yeah, and not only that, John, bell time 6:30. I mean, shit, for an old guy like me,
exactly.
Bell time 6:30 sounds great, because that means by 10 o'clock I might be in bed sleep.
Exactly.
So it works out well for everyone. Well, listen, that's Live Pro Wrestling Iowa. Overdrive on Saturday. Again, don't forget about New Age Wrestling, Apple City Championship Wrestling, Wrestle America, and Power Pro Lucha this weekend, guys. If you're in those areas, again, huge thanks to all 5 of these promotions for allowing us to use their audio as a courtesy in these control centers. We think it adds to your experience listening. It adds to our experience listening because we love the hell out of them. And again, we can't thank everybody enough. So that's all I got for this week, John. I know it's kind of a shorter episode, but you got anything else?
No, man, we covered a lot of stuff today. We got at some in-depth stuff that you and I don't usually do, but I think it was extremely warranted. And man, we got some really, really good insight to the Raja Jackson incident. And dude, kudos to you, man. This promo section gets more and more fun every week. So let's keep at it, brother. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, thank you. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. Like I said, they're talking me into all these buildings. So, with that said, I'll tell everybody to go out and find your building this weekend closest to you. Find some independent wrestling, support independent wrestling, and also support the independent and the indie wrestling experience, guys. You can do that on social media. We are Indie Wrestling Experience on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We are Indie Wrestling XP on Twitter and Blue Sky. We are also on Threads. We have a link tree, which is the central spot to find everything IWX. And the Smug Mug, all that stuff. Check out the rankings on the IndieWrestlingExperience.com. And I think I'm done plugging stuff, John. That's all I got. Guys, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week with what I believe is going to be a back to the regular program show.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot.